Noha, could you tell us about your blog which is called Torture in Egypt?
Yes, my blog, Torture in Egypt, is a web exclusively, it's a one subject blog.
Yeah.
It's focused on the torture crime committed in Egypt. Um, it was founded in the year 2006
Yeah.
as a web advocacy, and it developed now. It offers news, articles, reports, videos.
There's
Uh,
quite a lot of content on it. How many posts as a whole?
Yeah, I cannot remember, but they are like more than 1,000 posted.
Thousand.
Yeah, because it's since 2006, so
I
it's
see.
about 3 years,
Yeah.
and it's updated mostly. It's updated daily.
I see.
Yeah, with 3 or 4 posts.
So what are your sources of information for this? Where do you get your information
Yeah, in
from?
the beginning, I had when I started the blog, I had a limited number of sources, but now it's growing number.
People
Basically,
recognize you. People recognize you as a specialist.
exactly. And also, Tausher itself, the cause, was brought to light, into light. So, and torture victims are now trusting non-governmental institutions, organizations, with blog, whatever, to tell them and to speak out. They are more encouraged to speak out. Basically, I depend on newspapers, uh, NGOs, local and international NGOs, statements, the victims themselves, reports of NGOs, and such stuff. Yes, and sometimes I do something with myself, like I write an article based on some incidents, or I make some investigation
Yeah.
and I write it down, or I photograph some photos, and I comment on them, or let people comment on them.
It's a one subject blog, and torture is a strong subject. Why did you choose it?
Yeah, usually I was interested in human rights in the beginning, in general, and still, of course. Um, but why torture, especially because in, I came by a report issued by an NGO working in rehabilitation of violence, the rehabilitation of victims of violence. And that was this report titled Women Testimonies in Police Stations. It was a very touching report, especially that women who, who are narrating and unbelievable experiences by police they faced in police station and can't do this. Any of them was accused of doing something. They were not activists, they were not criminals, nothing. So I was really touched, and I decided to make people to try to make people know that torture exists in wide range. Then I started interested in knowing again and again, to knowing more and more about torture, and to share what I know with others.
How you define torture?
Yeah, the same like it's defined in the International Convention
Yeah.
Against Torture. Like it's a great physical or psychological pain
Yeah.
did by a civil servant
Yeah.
who is supposed who is the police mostly, to get information,
To get.
information,
Yeah. Yeah.
to get information, or to force somebody to do something, like to write something, to sign on
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So it's this abuse, the usage of force
Yeah.
to cause a mental or physical harm.
Yeah. And what has been the response of the officials of the government to a blog like this?
What was the
It
reaction?
is, yeah, yeah, of the government.
Yeah, um, yeah. My web advocacy. It's like it critiques, or better, it evaluates the Ministry of Interior. So
Even.
evaluates
Yeah.
the
Even.
work of Ministry of Interior, if they are
Yeah.
doing their job well, if they are abusing people. So for sure, police were reading the blog.
I see.
And they know it well. Exactly like torture victims,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Do you feel that your work can inspire other young bloggers, women bloggers, to take on such causes?
Yes, I'm proud that it's already happened. Because people who come across my come by my blog, especially bloggers, and find this content, they are also touched and they react with it. Like they are writing their blogs
I
about
see.
it, or at least they put a banner, they hang a banner
I see.
of my blog in their blogs. So at
Yeah.
least they say we are against torture.
I see.
That means that we know that torture exists in Egypt,
Yeah.
and we are against it, and we can't understand. It's unjustified. It's
Yeah.
still a crime. Yes, and when I'm in info activism, I met Christine. She's an American young girl working in an NGO
Yeah.
against torture, and she told me something very interesting. That she came by my blog.
Yeah.
She visited it since I think 1 year, and she was working in Uganda in against torture blog, anti-torture
I see.
project. Then she decided to start torture in Uganda,
I see. I see.
like torture in Niger.
I see.
So I hope it's inspiring.
I see. One last question. Tell us something about yourself. What do you do? Are you working or studying, or
Yeah, I'm a journalist. I'm working as a journalist.
for which? For?
Yeah, for a local newspaper called Adustur.
I see. Thanks and all the best.
Yeah,
Congrats
thank
on
you.
your nice work.